Tzu Chi University places students from Hong Kong and Macau in separate dorm for epidemic prevention. Tzu Chi volunteers provide aid supplies to over 2,000 impoverished families in remote villages. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Maggie Tsai. Thank you for joining us. Starting from February 11th, Taiwan has officially banned Hong Kong and Macau students from entering the country. However, there were 4 Tzu Chi University students returned from Hong Kong and Macau earlier. Hence, the school has arranged a separate dorm and an independent room for each one of them to undergo the 14-day quarantine. Tzu Chi University students from Hong Kong and Macau are returning to school. The school has given them a separate dorm and an independent room for each one of them with daily necessities and bleach for disinfection so that they can be prepared for the quarantine.
I'm quite used to it. The room for one person is quite huge, and they prepared supply bags for us with masks, thermometer, and record strips inside. I'm doing okay, and my body temperature is normal.
The school ordered meal boxes for students every day, and a security guard sent them to the quarantine dorm for the students to pick up themselves. The school also purchased new fridge and installed cleaning sinks and hired professionals to handle the disposals to avoid contamination.
The garbage from the quarantine dorm is regarded as medical disposal, so we handle them very carefully. Everything is handled professionally with one person in charge of a job.
Tzu Chi University currently has 4 students from Hong Kong and Macau. They will undergo 14 days of quarantine, and the school will monitor their conditions via video calls to prevent the epidemic. Let's look at this special outdoor tea gathering in Kaohsiung. A tea association planned to hold an indoor event, but because of the epidemic, they decided to hold the event outdoors in the plaza of Kaohsiung Jing Si Hall to pray for the world.
They pray sincerely at the tea gathering in the plaza of Kaohsiung Jing Si Hall.
They hold this tea gathering outdoors and also pray that the epidemic will disappear quickly and everyone will be safe.
Holding this event outdoors in the plaza with excellent air circulation allows every participant to feel at ease.
Stress in life and the epidemic can make people more emotional. We hope the Jing Si Hall can feed us positive energy through this event.
I think this is very good because we can all pray at this wholesome ground. It is different from our events in the past.
When the light on every table is turned on, it helps bring peace to people, and they can also enjoy the tea under the evening sky.
After Lunar New Year, recyclables are piled up as high as a mountain at every recycling station. Apart from sorting recyclables, volunteers also strengthen epidemic prevention measures. Some of them carry out general cleaning, while others do disinfection after finishing recycling work every day.
The recycling station in Banqiao is located in an alley in the community. Recyclables are brought in and out like this every day. However, on this day, in addition to sorting of recyclables, volunteers also have an important task as everyone works together to clear the recycling station and clean it.
I often clean here, but not so thoroughly.
As the volunteers said, they will clean the station after recycling is done every day. But during the epidemic prevention period, the group is expanded and disinfection is strengthened.
Recycling volunteers came to clean up to create a more sanitary environment, which is good for our health. The station is cleaner and it is more comfortable when we do recycling.
Epidemic prevention measures at Zhongshan Bada recycling station are also enhanced. Now, when everyone enters the recycling station, other than measuring temperature, spraying alcohol and wearing masks, a large-scale disinfection will be done every afternoon after recycling.
During the epidemic prevention period, people bring a lot of recycled materials here and it is quite busy. We have the responsibility to disinfect the recycling station every day.
17-year-old Su Bingde takes the initiative to clean the station. He spends more than an hour each day to do this. Although his volunteer uniform inside the raincoat is shocked, he is working happily.
To protect the health and safety of recycling volunteers, I'm willing to do this. I think it is my responsibility to do this disinfection.
In addition to performing disinfection and epidemic prevention measures, the words of prayer are also adhered to every corner of the recycling station. At 1:30 p.m. every day, everyone prays piously in hopes that through the renaissance of love, the epidemic will end as soon as possible.
Apart from Buddhism, there are many customs adopting vegetarian diets. For example, when a monarch or leader died in the past, people would go meatless for a short period of time to show their respect and ease their mind. The practice is called a ban on slaughter.
People are very crowded in the market, trying to get the food, no matter it is meat or vegetables they like. Yet, for the recent epidemic outbreak, the virus is originated from wild animals. Will their eating habits change?
When there was swine fever before, everyone seemed to pay more attention, but the bat is still unlikely to be eaten, so it's okay.
Tell the customers to add more ginger to their dishes because it's still lysine.
Selling of meat is not affected by the current epidemic, but in fact, since ancient times, there was often a habit to ban slaughter after many major disasters.
In the Qing dynasty, a plague happened in a certain city. Then the residents prayed to ease people's mind. Of course, they also banned slaughter. That is to say, they no longer killed animals.
Literally, the ban on slaughter is to stop killing of livestock. Everybody goes vegetarian for 3 days or for a short period of time. There are several reasons, including religions, sacrifice to gods, or memorials to monarchs and leaders, etc. During Tomb Sweeping Day in Taiwan, meat is not slaughtered in the memory of the former president. Anyway, all factors are to seek spiritual stability.
Not killing is a kind of humanity. In Buddhism, not killing life is a very high moral, to express one's respect and sincerity to the Buddha.
With the advancement of the society, it is difficult to make banning on slaughter an order to require everyone to embrace vegetarianism. But since the epidemic outbreak is out of control now, it is a good time to go meatless in order to stop the virus from spreading.
Tzu Chi participated in the Taiwan Lantern Festival in Houli, Taichung. The exhibition area was outdoor and the weather was unstable as temperature drops at night. Let's go meet some Tzu Chi volunteers who are on duty to guide the public with passion. Volunteers follow the route to guide the visitors attentively.
We reuse the disposed items and turn the waste into magic.
They invited the public to do good deeds by raising their kindnesses.
We can do great deeds with little amount of money and light up the world with great love.
During the Taiwan Lantern Festival, Hong Jingwei comes here daily from dawn to night on weekends and 2 p.m. every day on weekdays.
I prepared this sweater and a trench coat.
The weather is not stable recently, so he prepared clothes for the outdoor exhibition.
I always bring 2 extra clothes. I wear one during the evening and add another layer at night so I never feel cold.
The temperature differs largely between morning and evening. It is getting colder in the evening after sunset.
He is quite an empty space, so the winds are pretty strong after sunset. It's quite windy at night and my hands often get cold. In addition to keeping warm, the volunteers on duty also wear masks all the time to prevent the epidemic from spreading. Wearing masks is a must because we need to protect ourselves and others.
We are all healthy. In fact, we don't need to wear masks here. However, to keep everyone feeling safe, we still wear masks all the time.
Volunteers guide the exhibition with passion as well as promote environmental protection to the public in hopes that more people can adopt vegetarian diet. Tzu Chi volunteers from Vietnam Liaison office care for poor families in remote villages. Recently, they visited 3 provinces to distribute supplies to more than 2,000 families in need.
Tzu Chi volunteers took a 6-hour car ride and transferred to a ferry before arriving at Hong Kong province, which is located on border between Vietnam and Cambodia. As soon as they arrived at the destination, everyone was busy packing for the next day's distribution. Most of the people living in the remote areas do not understand Vietnamese. Therefore, volunteers need to translation to communicate to the local people. Volunteers distribute rice, noodles, cooking oil, and cash as New Year's blessings.
In fact, we can learn a lot about every post and every detail. For example, when we deliver rice, we can interact with the people while walking. This is the love between people. This is more important than sending materials to them.
Như vậy thì em đi em cảm thấy vui là như thế nào là vui? Em được giúp đỡ mọi người nên em cảm thấy vui.
Besides visiting Southern Province, volunteers also went to mountains of North Vietnam, An Phe and Lai Châu Province to send love and warmth to local ethnic tribes.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Myanmar held a year-end blessing ceremony recently. More than 1,600 people came to join. The participants prayed together for the flood-affected residents, hoping that the power of goodness could accompany everyone through any difficulties in the year.
Tzu Chi Myanmar chapter holds a year-end blessing ceremony at Mayango No. 1 High School. Apart from the residents of the community, the novice nun of a temple also came to join. Chi Ching greet them warmly and invite them to embrace vegetarianism.
Everyone has a vegetarian meal each day to save the planet.
Not just persuade, but let everyone taste the delicious flavor of the vegetarian diet.
Some people haven't tried vegetarian meals before, so they don't know the taste of vegetarian food. It's actually very delicious.
A total of 1,600 people came to join the event and review the good deeds of the previous year. They are also reminded of the good inspiration in the past. The second certified Tzu Chi volunteer, Wu Tong Yi, shares his joy of joining Tzu Chi.
Jing Si aphorisms teach us to listen and think often. My mind started to change. Now I feel very regretful for my ignorance in the past.
Tzu Chi makes people feel warm. Volunteers treat people with a kind heart, regardless of races and religions. Their thought of everyone is equal touches me a lot.
Everyone prays together for peace and auspiciousness, bring back touch and warmth.
I'm very happy that being a Buddhist, I am able to come to join this event. It is inspiring and also broadens everyone's horizons, making us feel very peaceful.
A fruit store in Hualien, Xinchen town that is famous for its lemon juice had a severe fire at its sheet metal factory in the back. There were 5 injured patients and were sent to the hospital for immediate medical procedures. The firefighters rushed to the scene and it took them 2 hours to completely put off the fire. A famous fruit store in Hualien, Xinchen town has caught a fire at the sheet metal factory at the back. The heavy smoke continues to burn and the firefighters rushed to the scene to put off the fire.
The factory was piled with combustible items, including paper boxes and refrigerators. Even after the fire was under control, it's still burning inside. In the end, we have to use the excavator to cut open the building from the roof and pour water in.
The fires caused 5 people to be injured, including the store owner and some employees. One of the employees was sent to Mennonite Hospital and is already discharged. The other 4 were sent to Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital as 3 of them suffer from severe burn.
The ambulance sent here 3 burnt patients who suffered from severe injuries. One has 36%, one has 28%, and another has 8% of fire burn. Basically, all of their respiratory systems are partially burnt, so we intubated them as soon as they arrived, and now they will be sent to the ICU.
The fire in the factory has now been put off. Tzu Chi volunteers also came to the fire scene to care for the firefighters. The cause of the fire is still under investigations. A group of Berjaya University students and employees of Berjaya Group Berhad of Malaysia visited a Tzu Chi recycling station on Pulau Ketam. Through learning to separate recyclables and cherishing goods, visitors hope to practice recycling in daily life and to influence other people to do the same.
28 university students and employees of Berjaya Group Berhad visited a Tzu Chi recycling station on Pulau Ketam.
Most important thing, we come here in one common goal, which is love, right? And to help to sustain our Mother Earth in a better living for our future generation.
We can see right now our students have go through first, they have removed all the recycled item into the boat. After that, they have do some works, for example, like painting. Teamwork is very important. And second one is they can work independently without people asking, which is volunteer to do the works.
There is an old fence on the road, so we recycled it. You must cherish the things you buy.
Most of the things at the recycling station were recycled. Volunteers used them to inform the visitors how to extend the usefulness of goods.
And I think it's something good when outsiders actually come here to actually have a look at the process and whatnot. So they'll actually won't take for granted what they have back in the city in Kuala Lumpur. So they will appreciate what they have more when they're back home.
I'm a little happy because we can protect the environment and we won't litter garbage. And when we recycle, the environment won't be polluted.
Experience here today, hope that you all can educate your future generation, your friends, your relatives.
The Indonesian government estimates that 27 million people in Indonesia are over 65 years old, making Indonesia an aging society. Since 2014, volunteers have been visiting a nursing home in Jakarta to care for the residents.
Friendliness permeates among people. Tzu Chi volunteers in Indonesia visit a nursing home in West Jakarta once a month to keep the residents company.
Saya kesini untuk menggantikan kerinduan mereka kepada.
I came today to fulfill the elderly people's desires of being cared by young people.
The volunteers let us to play games and do finger exercise. I'm very happy. I enjoy their company. We chat and laugh happily.
The presence of Tzu Chi brings much delight to these seniors.
I asked these grandpas and grandmas if they were used to live here. I also comforted them by telling them to be optimistic every day.
Giving away the red envelopes and best wishes, the volunteers want to share their merits with all of them.
When many people have a cold, they hope that doctors can prescribe antibiotics, but they don't know that antibiotics can only destroy bacteria and they have no effect on the virus that caused the flu. Also, long-term abuse of antibiotics in Taiwan is quite common as many doctors prescribe fluoroquinolone or FQ antibiotics, which are broad-spectrum and ideal for treating many diseases. However, in recent years, such antibiotics have led to some side effects such as hallucinations, mental illnesses, as well as heart, liver, skin, and gastrointestinal tract damage.
Yeah, baby! Come on, man, let's keep going!
I used to go to the beach to surf or go to the mountain every weekend. I would climb a mountain or run with friends or do a lot of sports.
Mr. Leaf, who loves sports, has changed his life because of a drug allergy in 2018.
After this drug poisoning happened, I didn't have the strength. It seems that the power cord for my body was unplugged.
Battery pack.
Suffering from prostate inflammation, took the doctor's prescription of FQ antibiotics for 12 days in a row.
Oh, my head.
Unexpectedly had complications and drug damage were more serious than the side effects marked on the medicine box.
From an optimistic personality to a very pessimistic personality, and then attempting suicide. I never thought I would commit suicide, but after taking FQ antibiotics, I started to have these thoughts a few months later. And then she was pregnant with my son, and I wanted to hold on.
If it wasn't for the power of family and love, he might not have made it, as the psychological upheaval brought about by the medicine can't be defeated.
One day I fell asleep and heard a weeping sound next to me. Then I turned to see him crying and I knew he was really helpless.
FQ is an antibiotic ranking third in the amount of antibiotics declared to National Health Insurance Bureau. Every year, more than 800,000 Taiwanese take or inject such antibiotics.
FQ antibiotics and fluoroquinolones in fact account for a considerable proportion of pharmacological harm. We should consider changing to another antibiotics that wouldn't cause so many allergies in patients.
Poisoning may be silent and a healthy person without a history of allergies may be affected.
In retrospect, a slight fever is actually an adverse reaction of FQ antibiotics, showing it is already occurring. But a doctor who may see me may not be very alert to drug allergy.
Dr. Huang has helped patients and prescribed many antibiotics for more than 20 years, but he never thought about it. As a physician himself, he became a drug allergy victim. When he took FQ antibiotics for 2 weeks, he had side effects.
I sometimes had amnesia, such as my memory decreased. Something I can't remember. My eyes may not see some things, and my ears may have tinnitus. Then I can't run, I can't walk, and can't do some heavy lifting or things that need muscle endurance.
Life was like a big power outage. Dr. Huang studies Western medicine all his life and suddenly had a phobia of Western medicine. He dared not take Western medicine, did not want to go to the hospital until he found the possible side effects of medicine.
Later, I accidentally found that there are about 10,000 people in a Facebook group because of the side effects of this medicine. I put my symptoms up and found these patients had a very consistent symptoms.
Side effects of FQ antibiotics include damage to the central nervous system, causing depression, hallucinations, and psychotic symptoms. It can also damage the heart, liver, skin, gastrointestinal tract, and hearing. These companies have been repeatedly asked by the U.S. FDA to include a warning on packaging.
Antibiotics are more abused here than in Europe and the United States. Many now call it a so-called defensive medicine.
Epidemics and common colds are caused by viruses, not bacteria. FQ and other antibiotics can only inhibit bacteria and have no effect on viruses, but most people are not clear about the differences between the two.
Some patients would tell doctor to prescribe some antibiotics for me, and then the doctor sometimes prescribes antibiotics. In fact, he should not prescribe this.
Since 2000, the National Health Insurance Bureau has regulated domestic physicians. Patients with viral infections and simple colds should not be prescribed antibiotics, though this hasn't curbed Taiwan's excessive dependence on antibiotics.
Severe adverse drug reactions will not disappear, and there may be more and more because of the development of new drugs.
At present, the damage from drug allergies can be life-threatening, and the traditional concept of treatment must be reconsidered to find a balance between recovering and minimizing drug allergy damage.
California Tzu Chi volunteers set up a booth to promote environmental protection at the spring fair hosted by the World Journal. Take a look and see you next time.